Yo, dudes, the Empire's pretty chill. Maybe you could, join it or something.
Hey everyone, Lucamus Prime here. So, it's time for another franchise ranking video today, and today, guys, I'm going to be ranking a film series which is based on the books of the same name written by Suzanne Collins. And this film series I'm going to be ranking, guys, from best to weakest in this video is none other than, of course, The Hunger Games. So, yeah, I'm going to be ranking these films from best to weakest, in my opinion, guys. So, in my opinion, there are no bad films in this film series out of the 4 films. I just think, they get weaker and weaker, in my opinion, not worse and worse, if you get what I mean. So, yeah. Now, I'm going to be ranking them. So, starting with my favourite all the way to my least favourite. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get to it. So, starting with what is definitely, in my opinion, my all-time favourite Hunger Games movie, guys. I'm definitely going 100% with the second installment of a franchise, which, of course, would be... let me just show it. It would be, here it is. The Hunger Games Catching Fire, the second installment. So, yeah, this is my personal favourite franchise, guys. I really love Catching Fire. Definitely one of the best, dystopian sequel movies of all time, in my opinion. I really do love Catching Fire. Really amazing movie. So good qualities. It's got a really amazing cast of actors. So, obviously, the main character of his films is Katniss Everdeen, guys, played by Jennifer Lawrence. And I consider this to be her best role, in my opinion. She did such a really amazing job in this movie. She was absolutely brilliant as Katniss. And she played her so well in these films. I consider it to be her best role. And I think this film series, guys, this whole film series is literally proof that she's a better actress than she was as Mystique in the X-Men films, in my opinion. Way better, in my opinion. Because... this film and the many other films, she showed such great acting as Katniss. She really did, guys. I also love the addition of Josh Hutcherson as Peter Mellark, who is the second protagonist of the films. And Josh Hutcherson does a very good job playing him, in my opinion. Probably my favourite role of Josh. I mean, the only other role I've seen of Josh besides this was probably his role as Walter in Jon Favreau's movie called Zathura. But this movie, I think he's way better, to be honest, in this role. Much better. I also love the addition as well of Woody Harrelson as Haymitch Abernathy. Definitely one of my favourite roles of Woody. He's such a great actor, guys. It's definitely one of his best roles, in my opinion. And in this movie in particular, he was definitely great. And a very great supporting character, a very likeable character. I also loved Liam Hemsworth as Gale Hawthorne. And he was also a very good character, in my opinion, guys. I think it's probably my favourite role of Liam, actually. Definitely a way better role than his compared to his role in one of the worst sequels I've ever seen of all time, which is, of course, Independence Day Resurgence. God, I hate that movie. But yeah, he was definitely way better in this film series, in my opinion. I also love Elizabeth Banks as Effie Trinket. When it comes to new characters, guys, I also love the addition of Jeffrey Wright as BT. He was a very good supporting character, one of the roles of Jeffrey, guys. I also really love Philip Seymour Hoffman, may he rest in peace, as Plutarch Heavensbee. This is probably my favourite role of Philip, actually, guys. I think he plays him so well in these films. This film introduced him, and he was definitely a great addition to the cast, in my opinion. One of the best parts of the films, absolutely. May rest in peace. And when it comes to other characters, I also love the return of probably my favourite villain of the franchise, guys. And that's definitely, of course, President Coriolanus Snow, played by Donald Sutherland. Definitely, in my opinion, his best role that I've seen, my personal favourite role of Donald. And he's such a compelling villain, guys. He really is. I like how in this film he's got more to do. And, of course, he's also used better, in my opinion, in the sequels. He was definitely a really amazing villain, guys. Played so well by Donald. He really nailed it. In addition, the action's also really good, guys, in this movie. In my opinion, better than the first movie. Much better, in my opinion. And the visuals are also absolutely brilliant for 2013. And also, as well, the music is very well composed by James Newton Howard. The screenplay is brilliant, and there's also lots of emotional depth. And this film is kind of shall I say, The Empire Strikes Back of a franchise, guys, really, because it is probably the darkest one, in my opinion, and doesn't really have, a happy ending, really. It just, is like a continuation, because it ends on a sad note that District's always been destroyed by the Capitol, but she's happy, but Katniss is thankfully happy to see that her family's safe, and Gale is with her and stuff like that, so yeah. But sadly, she's lost District 12, so yeah. And that, of course, sets up the next films. So, I really love Catching Fire, guys. My personal favourite of Hunger Games films. So, if I was to rank the Hunger Games Catching Fire out of 10, I would rank it a full-blown 10 out of 10. Yeah, I love Catching Fire. And then what is my second favourite, guys? I'm going to go with what is, of course, the first installment of this franchise, which, of course, will have to be, of course, 2012's The Hunger Games, the first movie. And yeah, definitely a very strong start to the franchise, in my opinion, guys. A really good start, in my opinion. I still like Catching Fire better, but this was still a very good movie, in my opinion. So what's good about it is, you know, the cast is still great, in my opinion. Absolutely. And, you know, those I mentioned before, who, of course, returned for a sequel, they were great in this movie starting it off. And when it comes to characters who appear in, like, you know, supporting roles in this franchise, I do, of course, love the addition of Stanley Tucci as Caesar Flickerman. And he's definitely a great character, in my opinion, guys. Pretty entertaining, in my opinion, for a few scenes that he has as the host. He's definitely a pretty cool character, in my opinion. Very fun. And in this movie, I did also love the addition of Wes Bentley as Seneca Crane. Crane was a pretty compelling villain, in my opinion, guys. Probably my favourite role of Wes, actually. Definitely, in my opinion, a far better role for him compared to his role in the first Ghost Rider film, where he played the villain called Blackheart. Definitely a way better villainous role for him. Because, you know, this movie proves that he's a great actor, guys. I do also like him in Interstellar as well, and on his small role of Mission Impossible Fallout as well. But in this movie, wow, he was definitely really brilliant as Crane. He really was. Definitely played so well, in my opinion. And the action's also really good, guys, in my opinion. James Newton Howard's music is very well composed, and this is the only film in the franchise not to be directed by Francis Lawrence. This one's directed by Gary Ross. And he did a really good job, you know, starting a franchise, in my opinion, guys. He truly did, in my opinion. And this definitely started off really well, and Jennifer Lawrence's performance was definitely very well praised, definitely well deserved, because she won lots of awards for this, such as the Saturn Earn Award for Best Actress, the Broadcast Film Critics Association Award for Best Actress in an Action Movie, the Empire Award for Best Actress, and she was also nominated for the New York Film Critics Circle Award for Best Actress. Definitely well deserved, in my opinion. However, now the reason why this is my second favourite, guys, is because there's like, you know, sporting villain in this film, guys, called Kato, and I didn't really like him. He really annoyed me a little bit. I didn't really like him that much. I mean, Alexander Ludwig was good as him, but I felt his character was pretty annoying. And also, as well, President's Note is quite underused in this movie, sadly, but I can let that slide because this movie is focusing on Crane being the villain, so that probably would make sense. But yeah, would have been great if we got more of President Snow, because he's my favourite villain of the franchise and my favourite role of Donald Sutherland. And yeah, but nevertheless, well, guys, it's definitely a very strong start to the franchise. And also, another thing that wasn't really that good, in my opinion, was also probably the camera work, because I feel that in some instances in the action scenes, the camera got pretty shaky at times, which I didn't really like. It was hard to watch and know what was happening, but thankfully the camera work in this was nowhere near as terrible as it was in Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, you know, the sequel to the first Ghost Rider movie, which Wes Craven was in. Yeah, the camera work in that movie, in my opinion, is much worse than this. I will say that, but yeah, I think the camera work in this could have been improved on, but thankfully in the sequel they got better, so yeah. If I was to rank The Hunger Games, the first movie out of 10, guys, I would rank it a very solid 9 out of 10. Definitely, you know, a great start to the franchise. And then what is my third favourite, guys? I'm going to go on with what is, of course, the second part of the final installment of this franchise, which, of course, would have to be none other than, of course, The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2, released in 2015. And yeah, this movie was definitely, you know, pretty decent, in my opinion, guys. A pretty good way to wrap up the story. But yeah, now, I can definitely agree with many critics that they shouldn't have split the finale up into two parts, you know, Mockingjay. I kind of wish we stuck to it as being a trilogy, in a way, really, because I don't really think it was needed to split it up. They should have just done it as, like, you know, maybe like a 3-hour, you know, blockbuster finale, like, kind of like, you know, Endgame or Return of the King, maybe. But yeah, this second part of it was pretty good, but guys, I will say, pretty nice way to wrap up the story. So the cast are really good as always, in my opinion, and the visuals are definitely very good, especially 2018, because it's improving over the years. The music composed by James Newton Howard is still really good, in my opinion, as well. And the action scenes are also very good, and there's also new characters introduced as well in this. For example, I like the addition of Mahershala Ali in his supporting role in this movie. He was definitely very good, in my opinion, as Boggs. Although I do feel he was kind of a bit wasted, because he only appears, you know, around, say, the beginning of the movie, and he unfortunately gets killed off, sadly. So yeah, I think he deserves better, which is why I prefer him in other roles such as his role in the Luke Cage Netflix show, and also, of course, in Alita Battle Angel. But he was good with what he was given in this movie, in my opinion. But yeah, still, I just wish that, you know, he had more screen time. One thing was also got this movie, and also the previous movie, is also introduced another character being President Al McCoy, played by Julianne Moore. And I think it was probably my favourite role of Julianne Moore, actually, guys. Cause I think she played it really well in this two-part, especially in this second part. And sadly as well, guys, this was also the final film of Philip Seymour Hoffman, because he unfortunately passed away in February 2014. May rest in peace. And he hadn't finished filming his scenes for the film, guys, sadly. So they had to work on his death. So he of course appeared in the scenes he completed. And there's also a scene where Haymitch is reading a letter from him to Katniss. And that letter was meant to be, you know, Plutarch speaking to Katniss at a hospital bed, but due to Philip Seymour Hoffman sadly passing away, it had to be altered, so Woody Harrelson would have to step in to play Haymitch reading the letter, so that makes sense. But for what it's worth, it was definitely a decent way to send off Philip, in my opinion, guys, and thankfully Plutarch didn't get killed off or anything like that, thank God for that, because that would have probably been disrespectful, to be honest, if they killed off Plutarch, so yeah. But nonetheless, it was definitely a good way for Philip to go out when it comes to his career, to be honest, because he's a great actor, guy. He's been in many great things, you know, like this, and also in Mission Impossible 3, and also Red Dragon and Moneyball, and many other things too. So rest in peace, Philip. And so yeah, my only issues with film, guys, like I said, is also that I feel Martial Art was pretty wasted, and also I didn't really like how he split this Mockingjay into two parts. They should have done it as like a 3-hour blockbuster. Would have probably, you know, made a lot more money if it did as a 3-hour blockbuster. I mean, when you take a look at things like, you know, Return of the King and Endgame, for example, and other 3-hour movies which have done really well. So yeah. But if I was to rank the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2 out of 10, guys, I would rank it a pretty solid 8 out of 10. So that's what I would rank it. And then on to what is, in my opinion, the weakest of this franchise, guys. So, the weakest in my opinion, as you may probably guess by what I've ranked so far, the weakest in my opinion would have to be, of course, what is the third installment being the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1, released, of course, in 2014. So, the first part of a 2-part finale. Now, just to clarify, guys, I don't think Mockingjay Part 1 is a terrible movie per se. This is the best to weakest ranking. I don't think any of the films are bad, in my opinion. But, in my opinion, the weakest of the films, and there's some reasons why I'll get to, but the good quality, the cast is still really good, in my opinion. You know, Jennifer Lawrence, Josh Hutcherson, Liam Hemsworth, Woody Harrelson, Elizabeth Banks, and Julianne Moore was introduced to this movie. Philip Seymour Hoffman was also great as Plutarch, and this was sadly, of course, released on November 10, 2014, and then 21st in America. You know, many months after Philip sadly passed away, so may rest in peace. And he was still great as Plutarch in this film, guys. He played him so well, in my opinion. And yeah, I do miss Philip a lot. May rest in peace. So yeah, Jeffrey Wright is also still good as Beatty as well, in my opinion, guys. And Donald Sutherland is still great as President Snow. And so is Stanley Tucci in his few scenes as Caesar Flickerman, the host. And everyone else is also good, in my opinion, as well, guys. Marshall Ali is also good as Boggs in this as well. But yeah, I just didn't like how he was pretty wasted in Mockingjay Part 2, sadly. Didn't really like that. But now, when it comes to my bad qualities of this movie, you know, the ones I can say aside from, you know, I mean, the fact that I don't like it was split up into 2 parts, is that I didn't really like how this movie barely had any action. I didn't really like that because there wasn't very much action, in my opinion, in this, and I feel like the pacing got a bit slow due to that, because this movie is 120 minutes long, guys, you know, 2 hours long, and it feels longer than the other installments. I mean, which is shocking, because Catching Fire, my favourite, is 146 minutes, and it's longer than this. And the first film is 142 minutes, and Mockingjay Part 2 is 137 minutes. So yeah, this is actually, you know, the shortest of a franchise, guys, but it feels like the longest because of how boring it gets at times due to a lack of action. So yeah, I didn't really like how there wasn't very much action in this, guys, and I thought it dragged on really long. And I, of course, as well, didn't really like how they split it into 2 parts. You know, I kind of wish they just did it as, like, you know, a 3-hour blockbuster. That would probably work best, really, to be honest. So, yeah, would have probably made a bit more sense. So, yeah. But, nonetheless, guys, it's still, in my opinion, a good movie. nonetheless, I don't think it's a terrible movie. It's still a good movie, you know, due to the cast and also the visuals, music by James Newton Howard and stuff like that. So, if I was to rank Mockingjay Part 1 out of 10, guys, I would probably rank it a pretty solid 7 out of 10. You know, it's decent in my opinion, guys, but, you know, not terrible, just in my opinion, the weakest of a franchise. So, yeah, that's how I'd rank it out of 10. So that's my ranking of the films, guys, from best to weakest. So, in first place for me, of course, would be Catching Fire. Second place would be the first movie. Third place would be Mockingjay Part 2, which was definitely, you know, pretty decent way to wrap up the franchise, in my opinion, guys. And in my opinion, the weakest one would have to be Mockingjay Part 1 due to lack of action and it dragging on way too long, despite being the shortest of a franchise. So, yeah. It's funny how it's the shortest, but it feels like the longest. So, yeah. So, yeah, that was me doing my ranking of Hunger Games, guys, from best to weakest, in my opinion. So, yeah, definitely a very good franchise, in my opinion, guys. Definitely one of the dystopian franchises of all time. And, yeah, and I really enjoy the films. So, I think probably in my far future, guys, I'll probably, you know, post reviews for all 4 of these films. And there is also a confirmed prequel coming out as well, which I believe is in development, called, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And I'm hoping it will be good, in my opinion, guys. And it's based on a 2020 book of the same name by Suzanne Collins. And hopefully it'll be good. And it looks like it's got a pretty, you know, promising cast of people, you know, that I know, such as, you know, Peter Dinklage and Viola Davis and stuff like that. And other cast members too. So, yeah, hopefully it'll be worth the watch. And it's coming out slated to be released on November 17th, 2023. So, I hope it'll be good and worth the watch, guys. So, yeah, I'll probably give it a watch, see what I think of it. But for now, though, guys, that was me doing my ranking of the Hunger Games films from best to weakest. So, you know, drill, guys, be sure to give this video a like. Also, be sure to comment what you guys think of the Hunger Games films. If you've seen them, tell me what you think of it in the comments below. And let's see how you guys would rank them. Also, be sure to join Team Prime by pressing subscribe for videos in the future. If you'd like to be a member, you can join me, peace out, or description. And I'll see you all later.